So today we are going to be ranking all of Taylor Swift's albums. So the re-record just came out for Red. As of filming this, it is out in the world today. And I've just been on a huge Taylor Swift craze lately because of the re-record coming out. So I figured, why not share my ultimate list of all 9 albums ranked? I'm also going to be ranking my favorite and least favorite song in each album. Fair warning that this favorite and least favorite song from each album does change, like occasionally, but this is just what it is in the moment right now. This might be different in a couple of months. This might stay the same in a couple of months. It really depends on what I'm really in the mood for. Another thing is that note that my least favorite album, the least favorite song in that album may not be my least favorite Taylor Swift song ever. It is just my least favorite song in that album, and same goes for my favorite song on my favorite album. So yeah, let's get started. So coming in at number 9, my least favorite Taylor Swift album is 1989. This one is kind of an unpopular opinion. This one just honestly missed the mark for me. I think a lot of it was because I remember when this album came out and it was just overplayed constantly so much that it just got to the point where I would get sick of it because it was so overplayed. That, and also a lot of the songs are very poppy, and I like pop music, but the entire album is like soul pop, and I feel like I need a little bit of a mix. So it just did not hit the mark for me, but I do still enjoy some of the songs on that album. My favorite song on 1989 is This Love. I don't know what it is about that song. I listened to it a lot a couple months ago when I was like doing my whole listen through of the album. That one I just kept coming back to. It's just very calm compared to the rest of the songs, and it's just a really nice song. And my least favorite one has to probably be Shake It Off. I know that's really unpopular opinion. To be honest though, Shake It Off, again, it honestly comes from the fact that it was so overplayed back in 2014. Like, it's a decent song, it just was so overplayed. I also thought it was a little bit repetitive, and yeah, those are the main 2 reasons why it is my least favorite on 1989, but I do really wish that I liked it. It's just not really for me. Coming in at number 8 is Reputation. This one is, I actually really like this album. I think it's very retro pop, and it's very different from her other albums. My favorite one on this album is Getaway Car. There's just something about Getaway Car that I really, really love. I love the part right before the chorus. I think that part is just so good. X marks the spot when we fell apart, that part. Yeah, it's such a good like intro into the chorus, and just the whole song is like very boppy and very like fast paced, and I really like that. And my least favorite one is probably Dress. I just don't really like how repetitive it is. I feel like it also fades out a lot, which I don't really like too much in songs. Coming in at number 7 is Lover. This is another album that's fairly different from her other ones. I feel like she was really experimenting in this album with the music, and I really liked it. I thought the whole album was really well put together. My favorite one on this album has to be You Need to Calm Down. I just love how boppy this one is. It's such a great message too, and it's also just such a great song. And my least favorite one is Nice to Have a Friend. This one, to be honest, I just never really feel like has a chorus. I just feel like it's very flat the entire time, and also it's pretty repetitive, and I just wish that it had a little bit more of a melody. Coming in at number 6 is Taylor Swift. This one, I was honestly shocked was so high up on this list. I never really was too into country before listening to Taylor Swift. So when I heard that her first album was all country, I was really skeptical to listen to it. But this album is so good, and it's so impressive for a 16-year-old to be able to write all of these songs and sing them the way that she does. I just really, really love this album. I think it's a really, really great debut album too, and I really wish it got more love because I feel like this album gets overlooked a lot, and I really hope that it shines whenever it eventually gets re-recorded because it is such a great album. My favorite one in this album changes a lot, but right now it's I'm Only Me When I'm With You. I really, really love this one. I think it's such a great song. It's so catchy, and it's just one of those ones that I can sing along to really well, and yeah, I just really like it. My least favorite one is probably A Perfectly Good Heart. This one just really missed the mark for me. It just feels like it never really got to that chorus. I don't really know how to describe it. I just don't really like this one. I feel like it kind of missed the mark in terms of like my style of music. Coming in at number 5 is Red. This one, I really, really love because it's such a mix of so many genres. And I listened to Red excessively during the summer leading up to a book that was coming out. I thought that it fit so well with that book. I'm not going to say the name of the book for spoiler reasons, but I thought that it fits so well with that book, and I would listen to it like crazy because of it. And that really helped me like connect to the album and really bond with it. My favorite song on this album is probably All Too Well, the 5-minute version, not the 10-minute version. I haven't listened to the 10-minute version enough yet to say whether or not that's gonna be one of my favorites. I do really like it. I've listened to it twice now, but the 5-minute one I still like better. This one is just such a great album. I love the bridge. I love the chorus. I love the build up to the chorus. I specifically love the line "lost in translation" for some reason. I don't know why. It's just such a powerful line in the song. This whole song is so great. It's such a different song than I feel like the other ones on Red. And my least favorite one is probably Stay, Stay, Stay. This one, as you can tell from the title, is just pretty repetitive, and I don't really like the laughing in it too. I feel like that kind of takes away from the overall song, but it is still a decent song. I still like all the songs on Red. This is just probably has to be my least favorite out of all of them. Coming in at number 4 is Fearless. This is another album where it's like really just pure country. So I was really surprised that it made it this far up on this list, but I made this list right around the time that I had finished listening to the Fearless re-record, and I was just like such in like a Fearless phase at that point, and also because I just like the more I listened to the album, the more I realized I did really like it. This is another one of those albums where a lot of the songs I remember listening to on the radio, but not to the point that they were overplayed like in 1989. Just still really enjoyed a lot of them, like still to this day, and it was really great to be able to hear them again, like in a whole new light now that I actually like listen to Taylor Swift's music a lot more than I did in the past. My favorite one on Fearless is probably Change. I really, really love this one. There's a really great chorus. I feel like it has such a different meaning in the re-record than it does in the original one. The fact that she's like getting her music back now and it's like everything's changing and stuff. It's just a really great song. And my least favorite one is probably Breathe. This one is just very fadey, very breathy, and I feel like it's just very repetitive. It's just very slow also, and yeah, I'm not really into slow songs unless it's like I know it's a slow song going into it, if that makes sense. And I feel like Breathe is one of those songs where it just kind of took me aback by how slow it was. So coming in at number 3 is Evermore. This album is so great. I love how it kind of continues the story that Folklore created and just gives the world so much more creativity and exploration. My favorite one on Evermore changes a lot, but right now it is Tolerate It. I absolutely love Tolerate It for some reason. I can't even explain why I do. I just feel like it's such a heartbreaking song, but also such like a you can get through this, you can keep going kind of song. And I don't know, I really, really love it. I feel like it's so empowering, but also sad because not only is it a track 5 song, but the lyrics are really, really sad, but it's also such a great song. And my least favorite one on this album is probably Coney Island. This one I just never really clicked with that much. I don't really love the lyrics, I don't really love the song, but yeah, it was difficult to pick a least favorite on this album. Coming in at number 2 is Folklore. I absolutely love Folklore. Folklore and Evermore were actually the first 2 albums that I listened to in its entirety by Taylor Swift. And I actually listened to Evermore first. I realized I should have done the other way around, but I didn't. Folklore is just such a great album given the time that we are in. It's so creative. It really just creates this entire fictional world, and I really love how Taylor Swift deviates from the self-autobiography and instead focuses on this world that she created in and of itself, and like plays with these characters' lives instead of talking about her own life in her songs. This entire album is also just so calming, and it's just such a beautiful album. My favorite one on this album is probably Illicit Affairs. I just always loved this album, specifically the line, "Don't call me kid." I used to know someone who called me kid all the time, and I used to never like that, so I always just connected with that line, not for the same reason that it is in the album at all, but I just always connected with that line specifically. My least favorite one on this album is probably Epiphany. This one is just so breathy, and I don't love that. I feel like it's very breathy, it's very repetitive too, and it's just very quiet, and I just don't necessarily like that. It just didn't click with me. Again, as I've been using this term a lot to describe my least favorite ones, it just didn't really click. And coming in at number 1 is Speak Now. I absolutely love Speak Now. This album just hit the mark for me, like 100%. I feel like it's the perfect mix of country and pop music, and it's just really a great album, and I'm so impressed that she wrote this entire album by herself. This is another album that consistently changes for my favorite song. Right now, my favorite song on this album is Innocent. I absolutely love this song. I feel like it's very relatable to like me sometimes because I'm growing up, so I feel very reflective listening to this song. And it's just, all in all, just a song I've always been able to connect to. And my least favorite on this album is probably Dear John. It's honestly just too long, and there's other reasons that I don't really want to go into as to why I don't really like this song. Speak Now is my number 1 Taylor Swift album, and like, the more I listen to it, I still just don't get tired of it. It is so great, and I really hope that she re-records this one soon. I personally think it will either be this one or 1989, but obviously I want Speak Now to be re-recorded first. Those are all of the Taylor Swift albums ranked. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please let me know what your ranking is of the Taylor Swift albums, and let me know what album you think will be re-recorded next. I'm personally loving these re-records. I think it's such a great way to revisit the old music and also to get new music. I absolutely love the vault songs. They're so great. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you again soon. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.